Welcome to Eureka Math. I'm Mr. Schenkel. This is Grade 8, Module 4, Lesson 25. Let's get started. Okay, we have a system of equations or simultaneous equations, and we just need to sketch the two lines on the coordinate plane and see where they intersect and predict what the solution to this system is. So I'm going to start with the second equation here, y equals 5, 6x minus 2. Because that's in slope-intercept form already, I know that I'm going to cross the y-axis at negative 2, and my slope is going to be up 5 and right 6. So that's right here. And we've got a line now that we can draw between those 2 points. So looks like I'm off a little bit on that bottom one. I'm going to try that again. That's better. All right, so something like that. And then the second equation, well, on the second equation, let's see what we've got. It's standard form, and so I could find the x and the y intercepts. In order to find the x-intercept, I make y equal to 0. So 2 times 0 plus x equals 12. And that just gives me x equals 12. So I know this line is going to cross the x-axis at positive 12 down here. And then in order to find the y-intercept, I make x equal to 0. So that's 2y plus 0 equals 12. So I get 2y equals 12. And then divide both sides by 2. Y equals 6. So this line is going to cross the y-axis at a positive 6 right there. And then I can draw the line that crosses through those 2 points. And it looks like our intersection point is x6, y3. x6, y value 3. And the point 6,3 then is the point where the two lines intersect. It's the only point that will make both equations true. So I want to check that. I'm going to give myself some space over here and just check and see if that's true. So let's use the top equation there. 2 times y, well, that's a 3, plus x, that's a 6, equals 12. And let's just see if that's true. We get 6 plus 6 equals 12. And yeah, 12 does equal 12. So the point 6,3 satisfies that first equation. And if we look at the second one, we'll do the same thing. In place of the y, our y is a 3, equals 5, 6 times x, which is a 6, minus 2. And then if we simplify, we get 3 is equal to, well, the 6's cancel out, so I get 5 minus 2, and 5 minus 2 is 3, so that also checks out. So the point 6,3 is the solution to this system of equations. Number 2. Same thing. I'm going to start with the slope-intercept form because that's the easier one. Crosses at 3. The slope is up 4, right 1. So there's my line. And I'll try to go through those 2 points as much as I can, okay? And then the second equation, well, that's standard form. So I can do x and y intercepts. If I'm trying to find my x-intercept, then my y is a 0. And we get x equals negative 2. So it's going to cross the x-axis at negative 2. And then I'll make my x a 0 to find the y-axis, the y-intercept, sorry. And so we get y equals negative 2. So this line crosses at negative 2. And if we draw a line through those 2 points, And we can see our intersection, which is right here. And that's the point -1, -1, -1, -1. That should be the solution to this system. And we can check it by just plugging our x and y values in and see if they're true. So let's use the first equation. X, which is -1, plus y, which is a -1, equals -2. And a -1 and a -2 does equal -2. So that first one checks out. And if we do the second, we get our y value, which is a -1, is equal to 4 times our x value, which is a -1, plus 3. So -1 equals, this is 4 times -1 is -4, and a +3. So we get -1 is equal to -1. That's also a solution for that equation. So the intersection, the point -1, -1 is the solution to that system. All right, we are able to see that on the graph as well. Okay, we've got standard form in both cases. So I can use the x and y intercepts, and I'll start with the first equation, 3x plus y equals -3. And I'll find the x-intercept first. So 3x, 3x plus y, I'm going to make a 0, equals -3. And so then I get 3x equals -3. And if I divide by 3, I get x equals a -1. So this line is going to cross the x-axis at -1. X -1, y 0. That means we don't go up or down at all. And then we will find the y-intercept by making x equal to 0. So 3 times 0 plus y equals a -3. And that just is y equals -3. So when x is 0, y is -3. That's my y-intercept. So there's one of the lines through there. And we'll send it that way as well. So there's my first equation line. And then we can work on the next, and that is a -2x plus y equals 2. So I'm going to make my y value 0, so -2x plus 0 equals 2, and divide by -2, and we get x equals a -1. So the x-intercept is where the x value is -1 and the y value is 0. Well, that's that point. So I think we found our intersection. But let's go with the y-intercept now. The y-intercept is when x is 0, so -2 times 0 plus y equals 2. And that's y equals 2. So I cross the y-axis at +2. So that line is there. And then we can draw the line that's created from that. And you get the idea that we're crossing, this time, we're crossing the point -1, 0. -1, 0. That looks like our solution. And then to make sure, we just check those x and y values in each of our equations. So let's do that. We have 3 times x, which is a -1, plus y, which is a 0, equals -3. And 3 times -1 is -3, and that equals -3. So the first equation checks out. It is a solution to the first equation. And now let's check the second equation. -2 times our x is a -1, plus the y is a 0, and that's equal to 2. And a -2 times a -1 is a +2, which of course equals 2. So it is a solution to the second equation as well. And since it's a solution to both equations, it is a solution to the system. And we know that because it's the intersection point. It's the only point that is a solution to both lines. right, number 4, standard form, x and y intercepts. So 2x minus 3 times 0, make my y value 0, equals 18. This will give me the x intercept. So we get 2x equals 18, and divide each side by 2. So the x-intercept is 9. I'm going to cross the x-axis at a positive 9. That's this first equation. Now I'm going to make my x value 0. So 2 times 0 minus 3y equals 18. And then since this is gone, I'm going to divide by negative 3. And we get y equals negative 6. So I'm going to cross the y-axis at negative 6 down here and connect those 2 points, and we have our line. So there's our line for the first equation. And now let's work on the second one. Second equation is 2x plus y equals 2. So again, I'm just going to find the x and y intercepts. So 2x plus 0 equals 2. This is gone. Divide by 2 on both sides. I get x equals 1. So this line crosses the x-axis at a positive 1. That's there. And then let's make our x value a 0. We get 2 times 0 plus y equals 2. And 2 times 0 is nothing, so y equals 2. So this line crosses the y-axis at a positive 2. And that's going to be right here. All right, then we can connect those 2 points to get our line. And it looks like we're crossing right here. And that is the point 3, negative 4. So the point 3, negative 4 should be a solution to both equations. Let's check and see if that's true. Give myself some space again. And we'll use the first equation first. 2 times our x value is a 3 minus 3 times our y value is a negative 4 is equal to 18. And let's see what we get when we simplify. We get 6 plus 12, and 6 plus 12 is 18. So 18 equals 18. So it is a solution for the first equation. And then we'll check the second. 2 times our x is a 3 plus our y is a negative 4 is equal to 2. And when we simplify, we get 6 and a negative 4. And 6 minus 4 is 2. And of course, that equals 2. So it is a solution to the second equation as well. And that means it is the solution to the system. And we know that because that's the one point where that is shared by both lines. All right, one more today. We've got 2 of them in slope-intercept form. Thank you very much. Actually, we don't. We've got one of them in slope-intercept form. So let's start there. We cross the y-axis at negative 2. The slope is down 4, right 1. So there's our 2 points. We can join those with the line. So we get that equation maybe right there. Okay, and then I can easily change this other equation to slope-intercept form, and I'm going to do that for ease of graphing. I'm just going to add x to both sides, and that gives me y equals x plus 3. That means we're going to cross at a positive 3 right there. And our slope is up 1, right 1. And then I can connect those 2 points with the line. And when we do that, I'm not really sure what this is going to be. But I do know that it's somewhere in here. Looks like a positive 2 y value, maybe a negative 1.5 maybe. Hard to really say. I could test it out, but the point is this. The solution to this system is the intersection. whatever that x value, y value is, that is your solution. All right, that is lesson 25. Hope that helps. See you again next time.